Hey everyone, Mr. Happy here, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at Blue Protocol's monetization plans. Yeah, it's our second Blue Protocol video of the week, only because I found out that there's a ton of information out there about it. Not just what's on the site, not just a few videos that they've posted over on their YouTube channel or Gamatsu's YouTube channel, but no, full-on dev streams, which, as someone from the Final Fantasy XIV community, I'm very familiar with covering those. But in this video, I want to focus on this particular aspect of monetization, because let's be honest, it's the first thing all of you Google when you want to know something about a new game. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty, I want to say two things. One, this information was largely recommended to me from another YouTube channel. The YouTube channel Aethersong has been going out of their way to do live translations of these dev streams and also produce content in a more condensed format on said topic. So I will include a link to both of the videos I used to reference for this one, as well as their YouTube channel itself. Not like you couldn't find it with the first two things, but hey, might as well be efficient about it. So thank you to Aethersong for your hard work. And if you are someone looking to follow Blue Protocol in the future, this is already looking like a great YouTube channel to follow to get up-to-date and accurate information. The second thing I want to say is in regards to my own channel. Now, I largely cover Final Fantasy XIV and Square Enix adjacent stuff, Forspoken, new Final Fantasy releases, so on and so forth. That being said, I'm always looking to add new things to my channel, even if they are short term. And right now, I don't really know where Blue Protocol stands. This will be my second video on it on the channel, and who knows how many there will be. I may even decide to make my own Blue Protocol channel, but I can barely remember to upload VODs to the VOD channel, so maybe that isn't the smartest idea. I should really get on that after I record this. Either way, the current plan is, as I maintain interest, if I see things I want to make videos about, I will currently be producing them on this channel. However, should I deem that maybe I should just make something separate, then I will make a video saying I have a new channel and, of course, link that channel somewhere on my YouTube itself. So just wanted to let you know what my plans are in case you're a longtime subscriber or you're somebody who clicked on this channel for Blue Protocol in the first place. So with that, let's talk about Blue Protocol. So for those of you hearing about the MMO for the first time potentially, Blue Protocol is an upcoming MMORPG that is being developed and published by Bandai Namco. It's something that MMO peeps have been keeping their eyes on for years now, but it was almost vaporware for a while, ever since really 2020, which shouldn't be much of a surprise to some people. We had some early alpha footage, some general directions the game was going back then that have certainly changed since then, especially after taking a look at some of the dev stream information. Now, as for their monetization plan, it is going to be completely free to play, and as such will contain a cash shop as well as season passes. That's about all we know in terms of the general overview. We don't know exactly prices on anything, but we do know exactly what kinds of things they're thinking about monetizing in both the shop and in the season passes. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So first off, the cash shop, which is aptly named the Regna Store, Regna being the name of the world that you actually play in Blue Protocol. Now, according to what I have here, there are going to be a number of different things that you can do with this cash shop. For one, yes, there will be a gacha system, and Aethersong in their video made mention that gacha is indeed the same as gacha. It's just actually a copyright that Bandai has with that one letter change, still even called Gashapon. But you will be able to use that to get cosmetics, mounts, and you are going to be using a premium currency in order to purchase these things. Something called Rose Orbs, which will also be used on other features in the Regna Store. Speaking of other things in the Regna Store, I have a full list of things here. Clothes, weapon skins, the beauty parlor, dyes, accessories, underwear, gestures, stamps, cosmetic consumables, and character redesigns, as well as mounts. Basically everything you've come to expect in a free-to-play game, and some things even plus or minus. I definitely didn't think I'd be saying you'd be able to buy underwear out loud, but hey, I'm just referencing the videos that are linked in the description, so that's what they said. That's what it's going to have to be. In case you're wondering about gestures and stamps, gestures of course meaning emotes for those of you who may be looking for a more relatable term, and stamps are usually either something that are visual on the screen, whether they be expressed over the character's head or used in some other way. Based on what I saw in that dev stream, it looks to be something that's posted over the character's head. You may reference them, maybe something like line stamps if you're familiar with those. Now, it is important to note that none of these items will have stats on them, so you will not be able to purchase power directly through purchasing these various cosmetics. And other than that, this all seems fairly standard. Another important note is that mounts will not have increased mount speed from the cash shop. They are only different appearances as well. Now on to the more divisive topic of pay to progress faster items. There's been a big debate pretty much since the inception of these types of items in MMORPGs and other genres of game is whether or not they're pay to win. Basically, they just make it so that the time you spend is spent more efficiently. You might get more experience or more currency, but they don't provide outright power to the player. They just make their time able to be spent more efficiently. Blue Protocol is going to have these styles of items, and some of these styles of items are going to sound a bit familiar, and some are more divisive than others. Now, some of the more common things you may have seen recently are reward tickets. Basically, when you complete a mission, you can use a ticket in order to get a bonus reward. I believe Lost Ark does this. Feel free to correct me in the comments below, but I kind of recall that, just thinking back to my brief time getting to Tier 3 in Lost Ark. You also have tickets for instant completions of certain quests, largely dealing with the Season Pass, which we'll talk about a bit later. Another thing that I am familiar with from other games. So these are fairly standard and not too divisive, but some people, of course, don't like these, and when you don't have them, it can definitely feel worse than when you do. You, of course, have EXP boosts, and you also have currency gain boosts, specifically referring to basically the gold equivalent of the game. You know, the thing you would generally use in the shops and for different features and for upgrades, and not like a paid currency or anything like that. That's the thing that's used in the Regna Store, which we talked about a little bit earlier. Now, I think the part that actually gets divisive are the next couple of things they said would be monetized. There is going to be a crafting enhancement option in the monetization, whether that be a particular item or just like a timed boost, I'm not 100% sure. The big thing with this is how crafting actually affects the game. When you craft an item in Blue Protocol, such as a weapon, for example, you have a chance of getting something called a greater success. If you do get a greater success, then the item just turns out better in a couple of different ways than if you didn't get one. They are going to be selling the ability to increase the rate at which you get greater successes, and that, of course, becomes the big part of the topic of pay to progress versus pay to win. It's not unachievable to do this without paying in the shop, but it is easier to do when you are paying it in the shop. And that is really where the topic is most disagreed upon. Because you can get things like extra slots for gems, or plugs as they're called in this game, or you can just have greater percentages on the stats that are on the item. You know, there is a lot to be said about that. I'm curious to see, especially when it makes it to the West, if something like that survives. But it's still not even that much out of the realm of expectation when it comes to things that we've had come over and still be successful. The other one is the ability to remove or reuse plugs already attached to equipment. As I established, those are basically like gems. Now, normally it seems that when you do remove a plug or replace a plug, it is destroyed. But instead, with this particular item, you can just retain the plug and then use it on something else. Another thing that people will certainly disagree about and is likely to upset some people even just hearing this video. But it is worth remembering, Blue Protocol is still going to be in development for some time, and the devs do seem to want to maintain a decent amount of contact with the players. So while it will be releasing in Japan in the spring, there will still even be time to, well, just learn more and see how people are reacting to it. I'm curious to see, because I'm definitely on the fence about those kind of things, but who knows, maybe they won't be that egregious. Maybe it'll be a small percentage increase, or maybe it won't bother people as much as I think it will, but only time will tell with that one. I did also skip that there will be some healing options in there. I'd assume it's just like, you know, a paid potion, so you don't have to worry about crafting them or anything like that. I think Lost Ark does that as well. It's been a hot minute, so I have to do that from memory, but either way, that's what we're looking at overall. Now, in terms of the shop, that's pretty much what you can expect in there. But there are other things like more character slots, name changes, but they also said that there will be nothing like storage related, no bags, no storage, anything like that. So your inventory is completely free from the clutches of the cash shop. Now, it is worth noting with the character slots, this is a game where you make the character and you can freely swap between the classes. So it's kind of like Final Fantasy XIV in the sense that you really don't need extra character slots unless you want to customize your character and have multiple customized characters, or if you're someone who just likes to segment, you know, gameplay elements. Maybe we'll learn that even though you can play anything, there's a reason to have other characters for different builds and whatnot. It's entirely possible, but at the very least, there is that baseline that makes it so you don't really need that. And name changes is kind of just a standard thing. It is also worth mentioning that not every category is exclusively monetized. You know, like clothes, accessories, mounts, stamps, the beauty parlor, the gacha system. You can actually earn currency in the game to use these things without using the cash shop. But of course, the cash shop being there makes it the quickest option. Apparently, even raids are going to have certain currencies that you can use for certain things inside of the cash shop. So that is, you know, at least something worth mentioning. But we really don't know how it's going to pan out comparatively until we get closer to the release, or it actually releases. Who knows when we'll get the most accurate info. Now that covers at least what we know of the cash shop in a general sense, but there is one other potentially monetized aspect. And I say potentially because it's not exclusively monetized, in that of the season pass. Now season pass is basically where you complete quests, you gain points, you gain ranks, and you earn rewards as you progress throughout the paths. Now a season is roughly 2 months, maybe a little bit less, and as you complete the quests during the season, you're going to obtain something called season points. You can use these season points to progress the pass or use them in a shop. Now I say or, but it could be and. Again, we don't really have too much in-depth information. We just know there will be a shop where you can spend season points. That's really the most information we got about it. Now, in terms of how long a season pass is, in terms of the number of ranks, that depends. If you have the free pass, you'll earn a reward every few ranks, you know, maybe at 1, 5, 9, you know, just not every single one. And you'll gain rewards up to rank 60. If you have the paid pass, however, it looks like you'll earn a reward every rank or almost every rank, and you will earn rewards all the way up to the max rank of 100. On top of that, with the paid pass, you will earn more season points from the objectives you are completing, or at least from certain objectives you're completing in order to earn them. On top of that, you can purchase the paid pass at any point. You don't have to purchase it before progressing at all. So if you get to rank 60 and decide that you want the paid pass, you could then retroactively earn all 60 ranks and then earn the next 40 after that. On top of that, you have 2 options for purchasing the paid pass, which is also fairly standard for season pass games. I think you already know where this is going. One is just the paid pass. You have the paid pass, you have access to the paid pass. Cool, you'll get all the rewards from that. The other option is the royal pass, which will just give you an additional 25 ranks on top of unlocking the paid pass. Now, they wanted to stress that there is no content that is exclusive to the paid pass, and that the royal and base passes still function identically other than the 25 bonus ranks that you can get from the royal pass. Now, other than that, we have no cost-related announcements for Blue Protocol stuff. They're probably still fine-tuning that stuff, and again, we don't even know if any or all of this will make it into the full game, although all of it sounds like pretty standard stuff, especially for a free-to-play MMO. I mean, clothes, weapon skins, the beauty parlor, like all of this stuff sounds just what I've come to expect, and it's all going to be, for me, down to how much of the game is revolved around these elements versus the gameplay. I'm glad they mentioned that the raids, which will be up to 30 players, mind you, will have some sort of currency that has overlapping rewards with stuff that's in the cash shop. But how much will it overlap, and how much will a player who is free to play feel like they are missing something because they are not actually paying for certain elements? I have done this with plenty of other MMOs, and I'd say it's like a 30-70 split. 30% of the time it's okay, and 70% of the time there's that kind of fear of missing out, that sort of, oh, I'm clearly not doing something other players are doing feeling, and I'm hoping this doesn't land in that category. But all we have now is objective information about what is going to be monetized, how it will be monetized, and how it will, at least in a general level, affect the game. So with that, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share. And if you want more Blue Protocol information, let me know in the comment section of the video below. Thanks again to Aethersong for your hard work, and whether or not I remain someone who creates content for Blue Protocol stuff, I appreciate the effort that you put in to your content, the conciseness of it, as well as the presentation of it. So just another shout out to you. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see all of you in the next one. And until then, take care.